everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Crusader Kings 2, the House Fleming Dynasty. It's been about 9 days since the last update, so I'm sure you are chomping at the bit to get stuck into another CK2 session, as I know I am. So as we left off last time, it was a slower paced session. Of course, after the glitch that occurred, the crash, at the end of the last session but one, King Richard of England is still alive. He's now 54 years old. He's been on the throne for just short of 9 years. And England is at a time of peace. We are taking advantage of this peacetime to expand our own infrastructure. And in the last session we constructed multiple buildings, focusing our efforts in Cornwall and Dyfed. And that will pretty much be the vein of today's session. We are still trying to fabricate a claim here in Thomond and have been for several years. I'm sure Duke George is not too fussed, he's a patient man. But another ruler might be beginning to think about chastising Berengar for his lack of action, maybe replacing him with someone more skilled. But George, as I say, patient, although he's lost the patience. Oh, no, he's still got it. He's still got the patient trait. So his patience is as ever winning through here, and he's allowing this Chancellor to probably get drunk in several taverns and not do his job properly. But anyway, what can you do? So that's happening. That is what we are doing, and hopefully we'll get a claim here quickly in the early parts of this session, so we can begin to expand our lands once again. So I'll put it on 1 speed for now as we go through a couple of bits and bats. Ambrose, yes, remember Duchess Hermione and her affair with King Richard? Well, I'm pleased to say the love affair is now over. However, as Liarden pointed out, if we check on Ambrose's opinion of his wife, it's -6. No, it's 38. We can see that there is something called hatred, -50. That hatred, I think, is born out of the fact that he found out about her love affair with King Richard. Which means, has that love affair ended because he has found out and he's challenged her about it? I'd say that's probably the case. So potentially there, love affair over, King Richard's had his fun, but now the old fogey, let's just say, is past his prime. So that's that. We're gaining in technological advancements. Of course, King Richard is getting votes in the Holy Roman Empire elections due to having some de jure land of theirs. So that's that. Last time, somebody died in her court. Now a couple of people died, and they were mere courtiers, so I didn't pay particular attention to those. Courtier dies, whoop-de-doo. But apparently, one of the courtiers that did die that I didn't pay attention to was Sophia. Remember all those years ago? George's affair with Sophia, Princess Sophia of Hungary, I believe it was. Well, she actually died. Goes to show just how much George has moved on, that he didn't acknowledge her death. As we gain more buildings, excellent job. So that's that. Goodbye, Sophia. You shall not be missed. And also, just a little bit something humorous here. We did gain a courtier. The former Queen of Abyssinia came to our court, and it's a woman. I think I might have actually said it in the video, but I thought this was a guy when he first came across, or when she first came across. I didn't notice that she was married to the king here. I just saw her portrait and thought it was a woman, but apparently it's a man. A couple of people have said that she has a high intrigue. Put her as your spy master. Unfortunately, the only females that can be spy masters are your wife or your mother, so we can't employ her as a spy master, as much as it would be a good idea. And Count Robert of Zeeland? What the hell is Zeeland when it's at home? Count Robert of Zeeland. Is that what a strange name for a place. Let me see where this it's saying it's, excuse me, is it in Devon? No. Count of Zeeland. Count Robert of Devon? Yes, not what in on earth is going on here? I do not have the foggiest clue. Strange goings on here. Right, okay. Right, another thing. that's worth bearing in mind is obviously King Richard is an old man now. He's 54. He's been in power, as I say, for 9 years. If we go to the Kingdom of England here, we can see the history. He came to power on the 13th of the 11th, 1102. So sometime in 1112 he's going to have reigned for 10 years, which means he has the ability to change the succession law. Now, considering that if we go to him and his children, we see he has no sons. He has 7 daughters. Talk about unlucky. He has 7 daughters. Is he going to change the law, the succession law of England, from agnatic primogeniture to agnatic cognatic primogeniture, just to keep his direct family on the throne? If he does that, of course, the future ruler of England is going to be his eldest daughter, Princess Busilla. Would he do that? That is worth keeping in mind. If he lives long enough to have ruled for 10 years, will he change that succession law to prevent Odo becoming king and allowing his eldest daughter to be England's first female ruler? Definitely something worth bearing in mind. Speaking of Odo, I was blissfully unaware that he was a twin. His twin brother, Prince Robert, heir to the Duchy of Bedford, he also has a strong claim on England's lands. He has his own son. I wonder if he's going to plot and scheme to try and release his brother, get his brother released, raise up against the current king. We'll have to see. He is a elusive shadow, quite high intrigue. Maybe he might start plotting and scheming on his brother's behalf. And finally, Brittany. Currently, Brittany is having a bit of a trouble and strife with the current Duke's uncle, who is being somebody's trying to place him on the throne. That war ended in a truce. But now another war sprung up, defending against Countess Elsbeth of Pentiev. So yes, for some reason people do not like this man. If we look at his vassals, we can see that his vassals' opinions actually aren't that low, so I don't know why they're rebelling against him. But this is the second war he's having to face in a very short period of time. There is a lot of talk amongst the local populace of England that we should be striving to liberate this duchy under the rule of House Fleming for the glory of England before France do so. I believe France have did France have some kind of a de jure claim, perhaps, or they have maybe not a de jure claim, but they usually do try and liberate Brittany for their own, for their own doing. Currently, though, King Philippe II of France, possessed by the devil, he's not ambitious. So hopefully, the lack of any ambitious trait will keep him from trying to advance into any of our lands or into Brittany itself, thus giving us a little bit of extra time to perhaps pick off a few more lands within Ireland before we head down south to Brittany. But it's definitely worth something bearing in mind. King Richard is just constantly changing his mind on the voting here on the Holy Roman Empire elections. So now that we have discussed all that there is to discuss this session, we're going to bump it up to 2 speed. We'll click it onto 2 for a little while, and if nothing else happens in the next few minutes, we might just even knock it up to 3. Holy cow. It's going to be a rocky ride. 3 speed, wow. So Scotland also are still struggling, still at war. There's wars going on here. Not only are they attacking King Paul the Cruel, trying to reclaim Caithness, but they are also defending against Duchess Maud, who is trying to press a claim for Earl Gyric's claim on Scotland. We have our buildings constructed again. And finally, King Richard I has gone to El Popio and has asked for reconciliation, and Pope Vitalin II has kindly accepted. So that itself should raise vassal opinion quite considerably for this current king. And as you can see, I think it has definitely raised opinions considerably. And we have lost a court chaplain. Died after a period of illness. So we're going to pause it while we sort this out. So the king has further cemented his vice-like grip on England, and now there's literally no chance of anybody rebelling against him. I think he really has his vassals eating out of the palm of his old decrepit hands. So we need a court chaplain. And look at this. Bishop of Landraff? Bishop Sewell. 24 learning. That is immense. Appointing him here is going to raise his opinion also, which is good for my cash situation. Welcome to my court with stats like that. You are an asset to this here council. So what do we need him to do? As we now unpause it, we got Prince Henry for England. How much strength? They're not going to gain strength. Look. High Crown Authority. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. There you go. As I say, his vice-like grip on England is tightening ever tighter. The fact that the excommunication has been lifted, vassal opinions increased, and that allowed him to push through the High Crown Authority law. And since that happened, another faction disbands. People don't dare raise up against this new king now. He's got us now. He's got us now. Of course, Duke George is a man of the crown. He does not care. In fact, he's happy that the king has maintained now some stability within English lands. He welcomes it. Gives him a chance to build up his own holdings. So we're going to go for stables here now. In Tintagel, and in Deved we're going to go for what shall we go for here? 1 level castle donjon, I think, before we start again maybe looking at some of the military builds. Lower Crown Authority, Duke Drogo the First of Kent. Let's have a look. Who's going to join that? 7.7%. It's a possibility. I did say that I was going to start holding some more feasts. George is in the twilight of his years now. I think it's about time we held some feasts, some fairs, allow our people to thrive with happy times. So we'll do that. We're still waiting for these two lands to lose their negative bonus before we start any construction work. Right, what was I saying? I was looking at my vassals here opinion because I'm just about to see if there's any work for my court, my court chaplain, if there's anything he needs to do. I can see the Bishop of Saint-Germain's needs a bit of persuasion. Not giving me any coffers here? Why is that the case? In fact, what's going on here? That's two people that... yes, he's got a bit of work to do, this new court chaplain. Something's gonna miss. Bishop of Saint-Germain, that is in Cornwall. We can't have the seat of our power, bishops within there, not giving us taxes. It's ludicrous. Doing as they please. Right. So improve religious relations in Cornwall. See if we can get some boost the relationships there. And then we shall move on to the other place that is not quite happy with us for some reason. But we're still getting 6.31 a month. So that's plenty. A local dignitary is visiting together with his pretty young wife. She wears a shining necklace, apparently some kind of priceless family heirloom. While he prattles on, your mind begins to wander. Suppose the bauble was to disappear. This could prove an excellent opportunity to better your skill at intrigue. Oh my god. We are looking to increase our intrigue. It is the only... Our intrigue is 5, but we are patient, diligent, gregarious, content, honest. I don't think he would steal somebody's family heirloom as a sick game. Not a chance. Still a couple of wars in France. I don't know what this is all about. War, some kind of war for Burgundy. Scotland, the current Scottish king is in a bit of trouble here because this war here is in favour of Duchess Maud. So we might have King Giric of Scotland before much longer. God knows how many kings Scotland have gone through recently. We just can't seem to find one with some sort of power to stabilise the lands. Somebody being imprisoned by Count Richard of Shrewsbury? Good for him. And a nice tithe collected by my steward. Marvellous. Good job. So, 1112 AD. The king's 10-year reign is almost upon us, as we wait with bated breath to see if he will change that succession law. His wife is not pregnant, so it's looking like the only way to keep it in his family, to keep that throne of England, is to change the succession law. Come on, let's get this claim. Let's get this claim here. We had really high... I don't know if we've got new bishops all of a sudden, but we did have really high opinions with our bishops. And so for some reason now it's... These two in particular have just sort of dropped. Don't know what's gone on there. What is the meaning of this trickery? Oh yes, I forgot to say, I forgot to look at this at the start of the session. Young George came of age just at the end of the last session, and I don't believe I checked him out. Oh my god. Oh, Hesdrin, yes. Oh my god, no, it's just a courtier, nothing to worry about. Yes, he came of age last time, and his stats aren't too shabby. He's good in diplomacy like his grandfather. Martial's average, like his grandfather. Very similar stats to his grandfather, in fact. Apart from he's got a slightly higher intrigue and slightly less stewardship, which might be a problem with a ruler. Remember, stewardship is something that is vital for your rulers, especially for their domain size. We'll have to see how that affects us, if indeed he lives long enough to be in power of the House Fleming dynasty.